let's talk a little bit about how you can instantly make life feel more magical and more fulfilling, and maybe even eventually, as a result of it, make a massive, massive difference in the world. First of all, hi, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Rose. I pretty much just post videos to help you align with your highest timeline. But enough about that, let's get into it. I was raised in an atheist family, but I found that atheism was very limiting, in my opinion. The reason being, life has a way of working things out. There is always sort of like this intelligence under the surface, working in ways that we don't really understand. And I completely understand that it may not seem practical or even necessary to focus on that part of life, the part that the unseen, you could say, or the metaphysical part of our reality. But that's kind of where everything comes from, if you think about it. I think I've always had this knowing that I am more than my physical form. And whether that means that I'm a soul that existed before I was born into this body and will exist after this body is dead, or that we live in a multiverse where I exist across infinite timelines, or I can sense my potential in a deep, deep, visceral way. Whatever it is, kind of irrelevant. Doesn't actually matter. All that matters in making your life more exciting and tapping into your potential, into your creative potential, into a more expansive experience in our reality, in this reality anyway, is to acknowledge that there is more to you than this physical form you're in right this moment. Basically giving yourself permission to acknowledge that you are capable of massive transformation. That's huge. For me, that was incredibly liberating because my life was not always easy. My relationship with myself was not always good. And my relationship with life wasn't always good. So the most liberating thing for me, the most healing thing, and the foundation to my healing and the foundation to my evolution was recognizing that I don't have to stay here. I can choose a different future. And you don't need spirituality to acknowledge this idea, but spirituality or an openness to the unseen definitely supports this. Definitely makes it easier. It's a very survival kind of fear-based response to want proof and evidence for everything. And it is a huge limitation. It is a huge, huge, huge limitation for our species and for our consciousness. Consciousness, as it rises, it moves much more toward feeling, towards intuition. If you're constantly looking for evidence for things, you are also inherently keeping yourself stuck in one dimension, in the one you're in right now. Because the key to true transformation and growth is being able to see a version of you that doesn't exist yet. Being able to see a reality of your life that doesn't exist yet. If you are still fundamentally stuck in your current reality, your ceiling is a lot lower. And unfortunately, that is the consequence of conditioned behaviors. They are rooted in fear, which is driven to keep us safe, which inherently keeps us small. And this is why practicing more aligned and intuitive decision-making, decisions that are more faith-based, more aware of possibility, creative potential, and less afraid of the unknown, or if there is fear with the unknown, which usually there's a little bit of fear because that's kind of just how our brains work. You can't see the future. By the way, whether you approach reality with the fear-based conditioning, needing proof for everything, and being closed off to the unseen or the divine or any of this stuff, there's still uncertainty. There's still uncertainty. It's really just what you're doing with that uncertainty. Are you using it to your advantage, or are you letting it keep you smaller? Are you letting it confine your reality to this physical dimension, this physical space, and this moment and the past, as if that's all the information that you have? The truth is our bodies are very smart, very tapped in, and I think Intuition, the advantage also that intuition has over like the mind is its scope of awareness is massive, potentially even beyond our lifetimes, right? Our mind doesn't know a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It only knows just enough. So if you're only making decisions based on what's available up here and from your eyes, how much information are you really informed? And are you really safer is the even bigger question. So let's come back to the actual question here. How does one make life more magical immediately? You open up your mind and your heart, and you make a very bold decision that says, I am ready to stop asking for evidence up here. However, I'm ready to start asking for evidence in here, in my heart and in my sacral, aka my gut. Because that essentially gives yourself permission to start experiencing the world more in your body and less in your mind. And when you start experiencing the world more in your body, you become a vessel for something bigger than yourself. And when you become a vessel for something bigger than yourself, you expand beyond anything you could ever imagine in your mind. Your life expands and transforms in ways that you could have never possibly predicted. Things, opportunities, relationships, people come up in ways that you could have never predicted. The way that you can transform your reality and make it so much more magical is when you can start tapping into something that is bigger than yourself. And that means walking into the unknown. That means tapping into a version of yourself that you don't really truly have a proof of concept for. There's no evidence that this person exists except in here. No one's gonna validate this, by the way. No one's gonna say, I believe in your future. I mean, people might say they believe in you, but no one's truly gonna understand exactly what you're tapping into, exactly what's moving through you. The key thing here is just getting out of our own way and being open. That's like the fundamental thing, because you don't have to believe in anything. I think that's like where people get tripped up, is like, it's hard to force belief, and that's fair. But you don't have to believe in something. You have to just address your existing beliefs. You have to address where your faith currently is, because we all have faith. It's just a matter of what it's in and if it's serving us. And then saying, can I be open to something different? Is it possible that that reality as we know it is more expansive, is more full of love in ways that we just don't understand? Is it possible that we die and it's like we end a video game and we go back to our true body? Is it possible? I don't think anybody's gonna argue with me that that's not possible. What matters the most is the effect that has, that openness. It's also a form of surrender. It says, I don't know everything. So therefore, I'm willing to open up. And when we open up, I mean, just that alone, whether you're spiritual or not, really allows you to be a vessel for so many more opportunities, so much more growth and healing. A lot of us truly are just so closed off because life is dark. This place is dark. There's a lot of karmic shit here. And there's no denying that. This is not spiritual bypassing to acknowledge that maybe there is something bigger to the picture that we can't see or understand or prove. I can tell you right now, aside from the relief and the ease that it can bring to your body and to your nervous system, to just lean into that, it also does create a sense of wonder. And it really shifts your position and your approach to the world, to your life in general. It kind of just happens naturally. So my call to action is to see where you have sort of deep-rooted biases around the world about life, about death, about your potential and who you really are. Because you are not just your current form. You're absolutely infinite, and we all have a choice to tap into the fullest expression of ourselves. And this is a really, 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 really powerful way to do that. It's really hard to tap into the fullest expression of ourselves when we're really tied to the physical, to evidence, because all we're gonna see is where we are right now. Have to just be open to it. And with that openness, you'll get your validation. You'll see it happen in real time, and that will be your evidence, but it won't be instant. That's a delayed gratification kind of situation. Just like working out, you have to just stay open and you have to keep approaching life in that way, and life will show you. Life or the divine or your higher self, whoever, the universe, whatever it is, something will show you. But that choice, that openness can only start with you. No one's gonna open that door for you. Nothing is gonna open the door for you. You have to just get more curious. I think it's like the curiosity, the childlike kind of wonder and curiosity, going back to being a little kid and kind of asking, like, where have I kind of gotten fixed in my beliefs? Where have I become sort of rigid in how I view the world? And is it serving me? Because maybe life feels really ick and just limiting because the way you're looking at it is limiting. And when we look at life as it is, only as it is, and not acknowledge all the unseen moving parts that are very much moving and happening beyond our awareness, maybe somewhere in here, but again, we only use 10% of our brain. So when we start to pay a little bit more attention to that stuff, without the need to define it, life does get a lot more magical, a lot more exciting, and we start to really see potential. And that's where major transformation comes, not just personal transformation, but transformation in the world. Nothing new was created. No massive movements or paradigm shifts came from existing in the same paradigm or existing in the same reality. It happened from people choosing to create something new by going somewhere new, by being open to a future that didn't exist yet. So I hope that you consider that and maybe try to see where you can bring a little more curiosity and a little more wonder and a little bit more of an open heart to your life and to your perspective on life or things and yourself even. And let me know how that goes in the comments. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel if any of this resonates with you. I'm so happy you're here. Lots more to come on this, and I'll talk to you soon.